everyone, Kat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. Hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for some books, because we're going to go over what I read last month, which it was like 14 or 15, because I made a list and then I didn't count them. So, as usual, this is going to be half chaotic, and I don't think we're getting puppy visits today. My guard dog's asleep. Ain't those big girl. They're all cute and knocked out after harrowing morning of the yell at the taxi driver and the mailman and the trash guy. And it's just been very exciting. So we're gonna start off with the books from my TBR list that I managed to knock off. So for those playing at home, we're down to only 72 books left for now. I might eventually actually have a good month where I don't have to do something expensive and unplanned and be able to go do a book haul, but for now, we've been good. We've only bought one book. So I do have one that came out this month that I really, really want, but I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna buy it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it because we've got all the genres going on. I got some action, I got some murder mystery, I got some fantasy, I got a little bit of classic. We had all the fun. So my latest read, which I just realized I just grabbed the stack and I actually kind of read them in like a size order. So we're starting with J.D. Robb's Shadow in Death. I'd call it a murder mystery, but we know who did it pretty much like as soon as we find out who's dead. And then we find out why they did it really early on as well, like 100 pages in, and this is, I think, like 350 pages. Most of this book is how we gonna get this sucker, because he's already eluded folks for like over a decade and killed over 400 people. How we gonna get him? And well, I mean, duh, of course they get him, because it wouldn't be a JD Robb book if the bad guy didn't end up in jail or dead at the end. So we do have that. So it's a non-mystery murder mystery, but it was still pretty fun. If you're not familiar, this is basically a futuristic where nobody gets killed with like guns anymore, and they usually don't get stabbed, which is what was weird about this one. Is they stabbed somebody with like a normal old knife. There's no poison, no laser, no like, some random chemical that we've never heard of that like we're out of coffee, so we made a new coffee and oops, we did something with it. But yeah, it's usually like, something kind of weird. I mean, they have flying cars and stuff now because I think this one was 2059. The start of the series is like 2054 and goes up to, I think, like 2063 is what she's on now, because this was book 51 in the series. And there's 60 something of them now, I think, maybe even in the 70s. There's like 3 or 4 a year. But it's very futuristic, kind of, sort of. It's just a good old time. And then what I think is going to be my favorite book of the year, definitely of the month, House of Roots and Ruin. Oh my god. I'm not going to go into a whole huge thing because I already did like a full review of this and a little short and went, y'all need to freaking read this. Start with the first one if you want to, so you can kind of get a feel for the family. But oh, it was good. It starts off a little slow, like it's just interesting enough to go like, okay, I need to know what's up. And then that second half is just, it is creepy, it's action, there's some romance, but mostly it's ghostly and creepy and atmospheric. And I mean, it's the perfect time of year to read this. Look how beautiful this is. It takes place in a nice, like, springy kind of, place. And it's just beautiful, and I freaking love it. More of y'all need to read it so we can discuss this already. Because I only know one person that's read this so far. And, oh, it's good. Do it. In case your TBRs aren't already huge, which, if you're on BookTube, We know they're huge. They never shrink. And then I finished a series, Banished by Betsy Schow. It's the third one in the Story Makers series, which is like a middle grade young adult kind of deal where we blend various fairy tales together into this whole big thing. It starts off with Dorothea, because, duh, Wizard of Oz, who, she's been cursed. The whole family line has been cursed, actually, and she makes a wish that backfires, as, teenagers and wishes do. And we end up with, we blend in Robin Hood and Lady of the Lake and Merlin, and it's just so much freaking fun. And in this one, it's the end of it where we're like in Kansas, of course, and in Storymaker land. And so we have our main one, Dorothea, who's been like kicked out of the magic realm and into Kansas. So of course they think she's nuts talking about magic. So she wakes up in, psychiatric hospital. But yeah, it's so much fun. And I love the little, stuff they put on the back and at the heading of all the chapters. Fairy tale survival rule number 99. No one's really dead until the series finale. And even then it's debatable. And we have, random stuff on the top here. Tale as old as time, books covered in grime. Here are the 10 cleaning tips every castle wife should know. Good castle keeping, and if, being heroic for cowards and whatnot. There's always a little line at the top of every chapter. And it's just fun. It's just quick, childish fun. And then I finished these two. And yes, I did a little thing on, hey, I finally finished the series for these. And this is just action-packed, completely unbelievable nonsense. Kind of like, think Michael Bay movies, but in book form. Except for we keep pretending to kill the heroes, except for, duh, we didn't kill the heroes, they're the namesake. It's the Jack West Jr. series. You can't kill him off before the end. They like to pretend to. Oscar! Hush up, little man. Don't pick on that kitty, and I know that's what you're doing because your tail's wagging. He might be a pampered butthead. Oscar! No. He knows he's gonna get away with it because he's just so cute. Mommy can't punish him much. He gives me face when he does get in trouble. What? I'm the little man and you actually yelled at me for once? What? My face was supposed to get me out of it. But yeah, these are the last two of a 7-book series. That's basically, the Cosmos really hate us and want to kill us for some reason. And so they have to like go all over the world through all these trials and find this stuff and stop the Cosmos from killing us. And then of course there's idiots that are like, well, either I'm going to stop it because you get like this big old reward from the universe for doing that, or screw the world, everyone can die if I don't get to be extra powerful. And the last book did kind of tick me off, and they're like, yeah, we don't know how anything works, and it just kind of, it got a little repetitive in that, oh my god, this person is totally dead. There's absolutely no way they could possibly survive. They had like a millisecond to figure out how to save themselves, and no options, no hiding places. Oh yeah, it's been 2 pages, so they're alive again. And he does that like 30 times, and then there's the scene with the water where, that's not how water works, you stupid. But other than that, it's just an action-packed good freaking time. And he doesn't get so over the top stupid with the, we killed them, just kidding, every other, chapter until the last book. So, yeah. Go read them all if you like the action pack and you can turn off your brain and pretend that it's believable. It's a good time. And then there's all the books that I read on, like, Kindle. But not unlimited, actually, because so far I've been good in just reading the ones that I already downloaded or that I otherwise got for free, because it's like, oh, hey, this reading service I'm signed up on, these books are free or 99 cents today. You want one? And I got some really good ones. So we're gonna start off with, I read Sin's Daughter by Eve Silver, and it was just a little prequel, like, short series. It's like, oh, here's, it's like 50 pages. And it had a really good premise. It got a little too, we're just going into the eroticness at the end of it. But the whole thing of it was basically, all right, I'm mad at my dead boyfriend because he set me up and got me killed. He's mad at me because he thinks I set him and got up and got him killed, but turns out we're both immortal and we both kind of got played. So they're both in love with each other, but both hate each other because it's been like 100 years, and they're good at holding on a grudge to the person they think set them up and got them killed when it was supposed to be all romantic and we're in love. And yeah. And then they find out, a nice little spoiler at the end that sets up the series. But I only had this little prequel for free, and it was interesting, but not something I'm going to go and, yeah, restart my subscription for. Is I think only some of this was actually on Kindle Unlimited. And then I read Beauty and the Beast by Jeanne Marie Leprince de Beaumont. It's a really long name. I finally found a book versus movie that I freaking loved. This is more like a Grimm's tale than a Disney tale. But it did have like the romance and the happy ending. But it also had a dark ending. And dude, go freaking read it. It was one that I got for free because it's essentially a classic at this point. You can go on Kindle and go, hey, it might not be the pretty version with the pictures that you can read, but it's good. It's like 70 something pages. It's a little quickie, but if you love fairy tales but you want something dark, oh, this one is it. And then, of course, I had to get into my Leslie Langtry. She had a sale of a bunch of her books for 99¢, leading up to another one coming out. I think it's actually this month. Whereas they're normally, $5.99, or you buy a little ebook omnibus of 3 books for $6.99. And they're freaking worth it. It's the Mary Wrath series, where it's basically we have a Girl Scout troop being led by a former CIA spy who's an assassin but not an assassin because they don't have those. And yes, I get sad in the book. Like, she's an assassin that's not an assassin because legally I have to say that. And these little Girl Scouts, they're either going to become spies or they are going to be on most wanted lists, especially Betty, who is their little ringleader that wants to be a ninja and a pyromaniac and a klepto, and she is just trouble. Like, we find out she's been stealing people's credit cards after, like, spiking their hot chocolate and purchasing things on Amazon that I did not know you could get on Amazon, and I am not about to look that up, because given what I, like, used to get to do for a living, I'm sure I'm on some lists, and I don't need to be looking up that stuff. I don't have the credentials in case they knock on my door. But oh my god, like, I read Macho Man Murder, Munchies and Murder, Matchbox Murder, and Method Actor Murder, and they were just so much freaking fun. Like, we had one where Method Actor was the last one I read, and that's the one where somebody tried to bring the theater to their small little town of who's there, Iowa. And of course, there had to be a body. She had to find it. The Girl Scouts got involved. We had to suspect Betty, who is. She decided she was a ninja and was trying to off the other ninja that was in the play with her, because how dare he? It's just, like, it's fun because you do not have to deal with these children. In real life, they would be a handful. As the characters in a novel, they are fun little girls to read about. Because they never get hurt. They might hurt somebody else, but they never get hurt. And so we had that one, Matchbox Murder, where they did a little camping trip, and it was just a little short. Macho Man Murder, I forget exactly what that one was. I think that... Wait, that was the one where some of her former contacts came back, and there was a lot of, is it the Russians? Is it not the Russians? Hmm. They're the big, strong muscle men, but they're actually big, stupid teddy bears. And yeah, it's just a freaking comedy. I love them. I've probably read half of the series. And then if you're going for like the creep factor, creature feature, I got into Ancient Awakenings by Matthew Bryan Laube. Laube? Laube. I will try to see if my thing will let me edit and put up pictures somewhere like here-ish. But basically this is like they're demon hunters. There's this guy that he dies, but he doesn't really die. He comes back every time demons decide to invade the world again and helps people take him out. And yeah, he was fighting werewolves and demons and he killed one and then felt his death because the demon was flying way up and he was riding him like it was a Pegasus. And then when he killed the thing, he went splat too. And then woke up in our time instead of, like the 1700s. So he's very confused. He just wakes up, gets taken out by a semi. Oh, yeah, I'm still alive because, I'm pretty hard to kill. I just need a couple days, but of course, he don't get a couple days because evil alien demon queen has taken over the hospital and is trying to take over the world. And so he's healing from getting whacked by a semi and trying to, fight off this werewolf demon invasion. And it's just fun. They're just running through the hospital, getting into fights with former doctors and whatnot. And then we have the kitty coming in the house, or in the yard. Well, I think Franny's awake. She decided she was mad at the, construction guys across the road, too. They didn't ask permission and pay the peanut butter toll. So, but yeah, that was a fun one of just, it starts off of, well, I gotta go find my ex because I think he wants to not be my ex anymore. And he works at a hospital and I'm gonna go in there and, oh, this chick doesn't want me to see him. That's because she's a hoe and she's jealous. And I never liked her anyway. And it turns out she's evil for multiple reasons and not just because she's jealous narcissist. She's a demon. So, and then I had some little fantasies that were kind of fun, but excuse me, is part of the Vega Bloodmire series by Sarina Dorie. I read Ghoulfriend and Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun. And yes, I said that correctly because I thought it would be kind of like a darker Harry Potter thing because the series has two names. It's the Vega Bloodmire series, but it's also the Encanto, Magic Academy series. So we have a ghoul who's trying to hide that she's a ghoul because, she would be like offed immediately for that because, oops. It's like basically magic is real except for it's not. We don't have any, purebreds anymore. Everybody's, well, my ancestors were this, and certain ancestors are acceptable. Some, like Vega's, are not. And she's basically trying to spite her mother, who's, I'm ashamed of our history, as you should be. Now be a proper lady. You have no opinions. And if anybody disagrees with you, you just threaten them and throw money at them. It's like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So that means I have to get a job, which pisses off mommy, because real women don't work. We just marry rich and then take all their money. I'm spoiled. Yep, her mommy's one of those. So she's raising, oh, you don't like this guy? Well, I'm literally going to magically seal your mouth shut and lock you in your room. You can never get out. And it starts with she was in love with this boy. He died. Mommy didn't approve of him because he didn't have enough money. So she wasn't even allowed to like go to his funeral. She got grounded for like the whole month of like, he's dead. You knew he was dying. And you grounded me, and I had to find out from his friend that you tried to hook me up with because his parents have enough money to be acceptable. And so now she's a teacher and keeps getting stuck solving murder mysteries against the principal's will, because, hey, if there's murders here, that makes it look like I'm a bad principal for getting these spoiled little brats at this, uh, boarding school killed. We can't have their parents find that out. And we definitely can't have, like, the witchy authorities finding out. So, yeah. It had potential, but it just, I don't know, it kind of fell flat to me. But if you're into that kind of thing, maybe it'll be more for you. There's no one thing that I'm just like, I really hate this. Like, I love that she's trying to stick it to her snobby mother and solving murder mysteries and going, hey, wait, I'm not supposed to be nice to people because that's a weakness, but I actually kind of like these people, so I'm trying to be nice anyway, and solving magic murders and being a half ghoul. But it just didn't quite hit. And then I kind of kept it going, and I read Reign of the Occult by Lauren Louise Hazel. And I'm losing my voice a little bit. And this one was good. It was basically, we have, in the olden days, the Fays took over the world and they were fighting with the demons of the underworld. And then there's now the occult, which hates all magic, except for the folks that they can use, which is, there's users, which are basically the result of Fae and demon hooking up with humans and passing on some of their magic abilities. But otherwise, like, somehow the occult managed to pretty much wipe out both the overworld Faes and the underworld demons who they used to work with to try to take out the Fae. And we've got these two kids that are on the run from the occult because one of them has magic powers. And we find out some really messed up things along the way. But it's like, all right, we have to stay in hiding forever, and we're gonna go to the demons to hide because the occult won't quite go there. And we meet other users, we meet demons and Fae, and it's kind of a family drama, but it's just, we're constantly on the run and getting into battles, and I love all the snark that goes on. There's action, but it's also very, very character driven. So this one I might actually look up a sequel to. But if you want a magic system where everybody has different magic powers and you can deal with, like, there, the family dramas that are, oh, it's juicy. So it's a good time. And then one that I thought was going to be really funny, but it was just kind of a cozy murder mystery that was perfect for Easter, is Chocolate Bunny Betrayal by Tonya Kappes. Kappes. I don't know. I'm possibly butchering that. I'm like, dude, Chocolate Bunny Betrayal? That just sounds freaking hilarious. And it's this little cozy town that any holiday, they are all freaking about it. There's pretty much nobody lives there. It's this tiny little toy village right off the beach somewhere. And they're all into Easter, and you've got this one, snobby old lady that thinks she runs everything, because there's always got to be one. It's just, well, I'm the best, and I'm on our little town council, and I'm on this, and I'm on that. And you can't deny the town council. They're like the HOA on steroids. And she's been there forever and pissed off pretty much everybody. And then gets whacked at the Easter Bunny judging contest, because they have to have an Easter parade. And, so we have all these guys dressed up in Easter Bunny costumes doing little booty wiggles and, little dances and flopping their big ears, whatever, trying to prove that they're the best, bunny for the parade. And then she gets whacked holding a chocolate bunny, and they try to pin it on our main character's mom, who's apparently their favorite person to try to pin murders on, because it's a whole series of any holiday, and she got, blamed for a murder in the very first one as well. And our little, journalist that's telling this story, that's not my mama. She didn't do it. She's far too prissy for that. Because we're Southern. And we're proper Southern belles. In this small town, and I have a crush on this guy, but he needs to learn. He wants to date me, he has to date my mama. We gotta have rules and proper manners that he doesn't know. And then just, yeah, all the fun murder mystery stuff. But it's very cutesy. It's very, like, half murder mystery, half, romance. Not a whole lot of comedy, so I was betrayed. I thought it was going to be funny, and it was more cutesy. So if you like cutesy romance, that book is perfect for you. If you want a comedy and just straight up like murder mystery, this ain't it. But cozy romances, there's a whole series for you for every holiday. So hopefully you enjoyed one of those. What's going to be on your TBR coming up now? Is there one that you really loved and so we can gush about it? Drop a line, let me know, and I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.